perfect outcome to all things. Here's a sure, yeah, perfect outcome to all things is assured. Yeah, I'm getting stronger every day because my faith leads the way. A perfect outcome to all things is assured. In every situation, there's a blessing somewhere. Together, brothers and sisters, and we'll see that it is there. Ooh, I need you, you need me. Yes, you do. And that's how our happiness is guaranteed. Take it, boys.
And now, in all your doings, be you blessed. Through you is ushered in a world unseen, unheard, yet truly there. Holy are you, and in your light, the world reflects your holiness. For you are not alone and friendless. I give thanks for you, and join your efforts on behalf of God, knowing that they are on my behalf as well, and for all those who walk to God with us. So let's walk to God.
Perfect outcome to all things is assured. A perfect outcome to all things is assured. I'm getting stronger every day because my faith leads the way. A perfect outcome to all things is assured. A perfect outcome to all things, yeah, is assured.
Wee doggy!
Yes.
There we got it. But it's not a
yes,
not a program. We are so glad that you're here. Thank you for your practice. It takes a village to get this one awake. I will say that. It takes a village. We're going to be talking about that. How important a community is. Yeah. Like you come out of the top of the mountain. Where if you I know you guys are great Course in Miracles students. You read it every year. I know you do. So you find.
I know.
We're going to cheat. We're going to cheat a little bit this time because next week we're going to do the obstacles to peace.
Yay!
And so this week we're going to jump ahead. What would be next week's lesson?
Well,
so we can do the obstacles to peace next week because I love the obstacles to peace. It's a big idea and. Where we are in A Course in Miracles is we're moving from one way of being to another. It's the idea that if you know who you are and once you wake into a new idea or a new understanding, you begin to act differently, don't you? You begin to do things differently. Your routines normally change. And things begin to happen because you're choosing differently. That's what she's saying. She goes, how do we amplify that healing process for ourselves and our community? And she goes, well, you already know how to do it. You're a human being. You have friends and family and all this stuff, and you interact with people all the time. You interact with God all the time.
All living beings.
All living beings, right? You're all living beings. What do you act like in a group if you're all living beings? How do you act?
Well, and yeah, exactly. Oh, go ahead, Tina. Did you want to say something?
Okay.
Oh, you're just.
Oh, I know.
Okay. But feel free if anybody has something to say. But yeah, just think of that. That's what really, when we were listening to that song by the Bellamy Brothers. I know we should wait until we're here, but let your love shine to all living beings. Sometimes I think I forget that, and it's just. It's just me and I'm just here and I'm doing my own thing and everything. But no, it's about all of us and not just humans, but all living beings. And wow.
Turns out all living beings means all living beings.
Yeah.
Who knew? You know? My God, all living beings? Oh, surely not all living beings. Have you seen some of these beings? Have you seen some of these beings? All living beings. Yes.
Yes.
All living beings.
Everything that we like and everything that we do
well,
not
you know.
like.
You know.
So, I don't know. It's been a wonderful week over here. We've had just some lovely experiences this week, and I'm going to share a lot about my music and what I did in the studio this week on Sounds of Awakening tonight, so I'm not going to share it now, but just, you know, Glenn had a wonderful week at work, and I don't know, we do make different choices now, you know what I mean, now that we've been hanging out with you guys so much.
Thanks for saving our lives.
Yeah.
You know.
No, truly, I mean, you know, even if we're not on screen while people are talking and stuff, we are paying attention, we're here, we're absorbing, we're practicing,
we're laughing, laughing along, crying along
with you. Your shares today, Tina, were just beautiful. And you know, as we sit here on Sundays, we just grow deeper and deeper in love with everybody, you know, and it's,
if that could be possible. I know. So
it's just really great. So
what do you say we stop gushing over these people and do the sing along? How's that?
All right, so we are going to sing.
What's the sing along today?
Well, we're going to sing our classic sing along.
You know this one
because there was a moment in today's talk. This was kind of an aside, but somebody was quoting Angelo DeLulo, who we all love, that mentioning he was an anesthesiologist. And that sparked something that both of us say, oh, wow, another reason we're not our body. Another way of understanding we are not our body, because where are we? Where are we when we're under anesthesia? You know what I mean?
When someone's got their hands in you and you don't know it. Where are you?
In your body. Somebody's operating on your body.
Like they take your association to your body away from you so that they can work, so that they can do what they need to do, and they give you your body back, and you goes, "This is not how I left it." You know. You know.
I know, right? That's not how I left it. Anyway, so it just gave me new life for this song. But isn't that an interesting question? And I know we're going to have him as a song guest, so that's a question I want to ask him. I want to really ask him that. Won't that be cool? Yeah, right? Won't that be cool? Yeah, I know. So anyway, let's sing.
You know this one?
Let things be.
I let things be.
Exactly as they are.
Exactly as they are.
You can't change me.
You can't change me.
You can't change God.
You can't change God.
Let things be.
I let things be.
Exactly as they are.
Exactly as they are.
And you and me.
Then you and me.
We'll live in peace.
We live in peace.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
What anything is for.
What anything is for.
Unless I listen to.
Unless I listen to.
That still small voice.
I have a still small voice.
Telling me.
It's telling me.
This simple truth.
This simple truth.
That everything. Is for my good.
Everything is for my good.
So let things be.
Yeah, let things be.
Exactly as they are.
Exactly as they are.
It can't change me.
Can't change me.
And you can't change
No, you can't change God.
Let things be.
I let things be.
Exactly as they are.
Exactly as they are.
And you and me.
And you and me.
We'll live in peace.
We live in peace.
Now here it comes. Be prepared.
Okay.
I'm not this body.
I'm not this body.
That you see.
That you see.
I am as God.
I am as God.
Created me.
She created me.
We are all.
We are all
one family.
One family.
And it's possible.
Yes, it's possible.
To live in
It's possible to live in peace.
So
Bring it
let
home.
things be.
I let things be.
Exactly as they are.
Exactly as they are.
You can't change me.
Can't change me. can't change God.
Let things be.
Let things be
Exactly as they are.
exactly as they are.
And you and me.
And you and me.
We'll live in peace.
We'll live in peace.
Kumbaya.
Right? Because peace is here. We could be living in peace. Just an option. Just an option.
I like that. Peace is here, my heart and mind at rest. Ah, God's love is heaven, and that love is mine today.
What's that from, honey?
That's from one of my songs. But yeah, I really love this. So let's take the time. Do you want to go look at the lessons first?
Yeah.
Let's look at the
So
lessons.
here we are. So if you're paying attention, we just started a new section. We started the forgiveness section, which is really very good because we're moving into our taking action in the world and what is ours to do. So of course it's going to take some forgiveness of who we thought we were and who we thought the world was. So it says so it starts out very clearly. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I want to clarify that we're in the ACIM workbook, and then the message for today is going to be from the text. So you got the workbook? Okay, great.
Lesson 221
So we're on 221. Peace to my mind, let all my thoughts be still. Wow. I love that. Now see, I really love when the Course emphasizes being still and being quiet. And the very last paragraph here in this lesson is so gorgeous. Now do we wait in quiet. God is here because we wait together. We wait together, all of us. I love that. Yeah.
It's moving from an individual view of me into a sense of collective awareness. Moving from one perspective, we're moving has to be to expand our perspective. Could be that.
So I think that was Friday's lesson. The next lesson yesterday was lesson 222. God is with me. I live and move in Him.
Which can be really assuring, especially if you're in a conflict situation or you don't know what to do, right? In in the world, in any given place, among beings you don't know.
God is with me. I live and move in Him. He is my source of life, the life within, the air I breathe, the food by which I am sustained, the water which renews and cleanses me.
He is my home where I live and my move, the spirit which directs my actions, the offer. So it's like this.
Everything guarantees my safety from all pain, covers me with kindness and care, and holds me in love.
So that's the presence of that's the present felt sense of what I call togetherness. The sense of being and belonging, right? Doesn't that feel like going home, like seeing your all your lost relatives? It's like everybody knows you and everybody's, like the song says, everybody's here, and that's what it means. It's like, everybody's here. That's me. That's
melting into presence.
So that's
loving effervescence.
That's what we're looking for. We're moving from a perspective of singularity to a perspective of inclusive. More that's inclusive. It's like goes in all directions. If you can think about that outside of a space-time continual awareness, God is with me. I live and move within God. So then 223,
which is today,
is so cool.
God is my life. I have no life but His.
And there could be no more statement. There could be no more true statement. Where do you find your joy? In actually being and helping with other people. God is the life. What is life? How did you get here? Somebody loved somebody else is how you got here. You know? However we want to tell that story, that's how that process works. So we're all doing this. This is all inside one thing. We're that one thing, but our perspective changes and we begin to be cooperative components, and we go, oh, I know what's mine to do. And what's even more interesting than that, I know what's not mine to do, which might even be the greater relief, you know?
Oh, good point. Huh, how about that?
So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. You know, can you tell I love A Course in Miracles? God is my life, she says here. She goes, you want to be happy? This is how you live. Okay, open to God is my life. Oh shoot, you know.
God is my life.
God is my life.
Yes.
Right, because reality is my life. What do we think about? What do we think God is? God is what's reliable. God is what's true. God is what always works. God is the oneness and all the power in the world. What other answer could there be? Hasbro is my life. Oh no, Marvel. I know. Yeah. Something politics or yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah,
really.
Forget it. It's like, are you kidding?
Yeah. I know.
And so begin to be onto yourself about what you say and what you think about and what you're going to really honestly be about. Oh, when somebody knows you, it goes, oh yeah, that's the beanie bag girl or whatever. That's all she talks about, you know. So who are we? Who do we want to be? It'll be in relationship to what we are to do inside of this togetherness, this deep moment that is God, that's us. But okay.
Wow.
But I love this.
Yes, you do. So, okay, so now let's do
continue.
our bell ringing and meditation. I'm going to do another song after that. But the message that Glenn's going to work from today is in chapter 20. And that chapter is called The Vision of Holiness, and we're going to work today from section 2, called The Gift of Lilies, if you want to.
It's called The Gift of Lilies. Some books are marked without don't include the introduction, so the sections get messed up. So it's The Gift of Lilies, however your book is.
So, we're going to ring the bell, breathe 3 times, let the last one out on an Om, and then I'm going to play a song for you. Here we go. Right here in this moment, you and I, all of us together, are co-creating this circle of unconditional love, which includes everything that we like and everything that we do not like. As the poet Rumi says, life is like living in a guest house or running a guest house, where all guests are invited and you never know who's going to show up. So today, we accept all that is. We are grateful for all that is. We are thankful we can be present in the moment. We are thankful that we can know truth, we can know reality, and we can have a joyous time with each other. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti Om. Blessed be.
Shanti, hey, Shanti, hey, Shanti Om. Shanti, hey, Shanti, hey, Shanti Om. I had a dream that being human was like running a motel. My next guest could be Sister Joy from hell. could be the traveler from hell. I have given everything I see all the meaning that it has for me. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Well, maybe it's a tour group of sorrows, but I'll be grateful for all who come. 'Cause every single one of these travelers are sent as teachers from the beyond. I have given everything I see all the meaning that it has for me. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om 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 Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om.
So wonderful, so wonderful. Yeah, it's, you know,
That's funny.
how wonderful would it
Thanks,
be
Rhoda.
if we could bear to experience being ourselves,
Yes.
you know, to
Yes.
being you in all your glory. What are we avoiding? Being me, feeling me, you know, us, feeling this deep us presence. So
Thank you, Tina. That was sweet.
yes, love
Oh,
the
love
characters.
the characters,
I know,
yeah, me
well,
too.
I know the artist is fantastic.
That artist was amazing. I have his link in my video on YouTube if you want to look for it. Yeah.
Buy the book. You did.
Oh, Odsy, thank you, darling.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. I'm so glad. All right.
Well,
So,
normally we would be doing this lesson next week, but we're doing this lesson this week because I want to do obstacles to peace with Yolanda next week. So I'm gonna make a plug before we get started. This come back next week. It's one of my favorite episodes. One of my favorite things, lessons to teach. It's called the obstacles to peace.
it is
It's
wonderful.
it's one of my favorite things to teach. I didn't want to teach it because Yolanda was out last week doing her thing, which she'll tell you all about tonight on a weekend together. But this is normally, so don't be surprised if you haven't read it yet. You're going to get there next week. So it's chapter 20. It's the vision of holiness. This is section.
So what
it's
you're
called
doing
the gift of-
today is
is
chapter 20.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. So, yes. Just so people are following along. So today we're on chapter 20, the vision of holiness.
Instead
the
of
gift-
chapter 19.
Yeah, the gift of lilies.
The rest of chapter 19.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you wouldn't mind, read the whole thing.
Okay. So we're going to start at paragraph 1 with...
Oh, just in the image is two.
lanterns.
Yeah, it's two lanterns.
Do you want to show? Do you want to share?
Well, I mean, it's just like there's two lanterns. The idea being that we are holding up our light. Like I hold my light up for you, and you hold your light up for me. So the image is this.
Yeah.
You know, of two lanterns together. They're way brighter than even one lantern, or even two lanterns are astronomically brighter when they're together. You know, and the idea that I hold my lantern for you and you hold your lantern for me, and that's how we move down the path together. It's that idea. So read this whole first paragraph. I think it's
Alrighty.
kind of lovely.
Okay.
Or it tells the good story. It tells the good story. What the dilemma is, which is the way how it always starts. She always tells you what the dilemma is, and then she tells you why you don't want to do it, and then she tells you the reasons why you can do it and the rewards for doing it.
All right.
So let's get started.
So here we go. Look upon all the trinkets made to hang upon the body. Yes, look, have a look. look,
Look. And the first thing she says is just
look at all the trinkets.
look at what you've got. Look at reality. Just look at what's really happening. There's no judgment here, but she says the awareness, right? So there's a start here.
Just going on. Look upon all the trinkets made to hang upon the body, or to cover it, or for its use. See all the useless things made for its eyes to see. Think on the many offerings made for its pleasure, and remember all these were made to seem lovely what you hate. Would you employ this hated thing to draw your brother to you and to attract his body's eyes? Learn you but offer him a crown of thorns, not recognizing it for what it is, and trying to justify your own interpretation of its value by his acceptance. Yet still, the gift proclaims his worthiness to you, as his acceptance.
Worthlessness.
Oh, sorry. Worthlessness to you, yes. As his acceptance and delight acknowledges the lack of value he places on himself.
Okay, the body as a crown of thorns. See, did you hear that? I'm sure you saw the problem in that. You saw the total identification with the body. You saw the total, all the stuff that was like, oh my God, that's who I think I am. That's an identity, right? That's it. Just you could fill in the blanks for all yourself, but fill in those blanks specifically, and you've got an identity, or got an identity. And she calls this our body as a crown of thorns. We don't really like this idea because we don't really like the idea of dying. We don't like the idea of really taking care of it. Oh my God, I have to poop again. I got a pimple. Or it's like, why can't I be taller? Why can't I be thinner? Why can't I be richer? Why can't I have more hair? Why can't I have less hair? Why can't we don't like what's going on here. Honestly, and it's kind of unfair that I got this body. So I should have had this other one. Because that's who we are. That's who we think we are.
We think we are our bodies.
We think we are our bodies because
okay,
it's made for pleasure, and it's made to attract others, and its value is its own projection. I'm value. Do you think I'm value? It makes us inside the same paradigm. We see this all over the place, in groups, out groups, in fashion and clothes and stuff like that. Because she goes, oh, is that really what you offer a group? Is that really what you offer anybody? The trinkets and really cool ways to dress and stuff like that? Is that where you think your value off? Is that where you think your value off is? Is that what you're bringing to the group? She says, well, we often think that way. Keep going.
For bodies can neither offer nor accept, hold out nor take. Only the mind can value, and only the mind decides on what it would receive and give. And every gift it offers depends on what it wants. And now we're moving to paragraph 3. Each gift is an evaluation of the receiver and the giver. No one but sees his chosen home as an altar to himself, and each has set a light upon his altar. Forget not that it is your Savior to whom the gift is offered. Offer him thorns, and you are crucified. Offer him lilies, and it is yourself you free.
Okay, so this is the alternatives to offering yourself as a crown of thorns. So what are we offering? Oh, what you're about, your intent, your energy, what you're on board with. You're like, let's create this together. My intellect, my buy-in, my everything. Oh, Connie,
we love you, Connie. We're so glad you're here. And Martha, hey, I'm so glad to see you. It's so nice
Don't
to
worry,
see you. 1
L and you won't fail the semester. 3 L's and you'll get a warning. Okay. So the gift of lilies is the versus the gift of thorns in the cosmology of in the Course in Miracles. The way she wants to understand this metaphor, the lilies are what you want. And that's the evaluation of whether or not we're really offering something real. And she goes, you can tell that we only accept the gifts that we're offering. So if we're pissed off all the time, that's what we're giving out.
And we're receiving back.
We're getting the presence that we're emanating. We're getting the experience that we're offering the world.
Right.
And because we are approaching our world in two different ways, because there's two ways to approach your sense of participation, in what is yours to do, right? Because we're coming off the mountain, you know what is yours to do, and you need other people to help you do it. Nobody's an island, right? We're moved back into community, into what is ours to do, and it involves other people, invariably, right? The gift of Lilies is you have a group intent, and we can only accept what gifts we're offering. So the we make solutions in two different ways. We either look at the source, we either solve source solution, we either have source solutions, and that means inclusion and togetherness. Source solutions. The solutions that can be made at the source are ones that stem from a foundational understanding of that oneness and inclusiveness and togetherness. Or we're going to be looking at symptom solution, which is just basically window dressing, which is the first paragraph, the trinkets and the coverings. She goes, what are you offering? Are we offering the knowledge of our oneness, the presence of oneness in these, and what is ours to do in this group dynamic, in the world, and what is ours to do? Or are we offering our window dressing, our body and the trinkets and stuff, and our physical presence? And that's a symptom-based solutions. Are we trying to look good? Are we trying to make the organization look good instead of doing what is ours to do? Are we working at inclusive solutions, or are we trying to look good? Would be the way in which we are looking at how we solve, how we move into what is ours to do inside of this understanding of ourselves in this group dynamic, and we're never going to do it by ourselves. So keep going.
All right. So let's see. We're on paragraph 4, and I'm going to kind of read a lot of this because I want to give context. Okay, I'm a little confused. It starts like this. I have great need for lilies, for the Son of God has not forgiven me. So I don't really know who the voice is that's speaking right there.
Okay. I have need for lilies is the person that we're going to be dealing with in this place. Jesus is the narrator here. I have need for lilies. I need you to forgive me, for the Son of God has not forgiven me. The Son of God is me. I don't let people be who they are. You don't let people. I have great need for. I need you to forgive me. I need you to forgive me as your brother, whom you don't see as me. For the Son of God has not forgiven me, because you haven't forgiven me because you place conditions on who's in the group and who's not in the group. And can I offer him forgiveness when he offers thorns for me? And says, how will you expect anyone to react when you're offering suffering?
Okay. Yeah.
For he who offers thorns to anyone is against me still, and who is whole without him? If you're still offering only your body, you don't know who you are.
Right.
And all you can give is a subconscious participation in the wholeness. For who is whole without? That's the only opportunity. That's the only contribution you can make if you're asleep.
Right. Okay. Got
For he who offers thorns is against me still, is against oneness and joining in participating in reality. And who is whole without him? Well, you're still whole, but you just don't participate consciously. Is that?
Got it. That's a lot better. I think in terms of understanding what we're talking about right there. Yeah. All right. Hold on.
Just get there.
Hit that. Now let's go back. Okay, so be you his friend for me, that I may be forgiven and you may look upon the Son of God as
That's
whole.
the solution.
That's the solution. But look you first upon the altar in your chosen home, and see what you have laid upon it to offer me.
See, that's why I highlighted the second sentence,
Yeah.
because it says the first sentence a bit clearer.
Okay. All right. Got it. Okay. Paragraph 5, you look still with the body's eyes, and they can see but thorns. Those who accept the Holy Spirit's purpose as their own
A new vision, right?
share also his vision. He sees no strangers, only dearly loved and loving friends.
Okay.
Okay.
The advice
Now.
we get to is
Now I got it.
so you're solving a solution. So you're solving for you'll get into this group and you want to do something. Feed the sick. Write a new software program. It really doesn't matter. The togetherness and the participation in the expression of what is real is what matters. And she says, and the way we do this is to make solutions and to look for solutions that benefit everyone and involve everyone. And the way to do that is, she goes, be a friend first to yourself and then to other people. Learn to place on your altar what you want to find on other people's altar, the light in which you find yourself in their presence. This idea of our presence as an altar, what is on it? What are you offering other people? Thorns, candy, poison, unconsciousness, messiness. Do that, but be conscious of it. I'm not saying there's a right way to do this. She's saying, look, and know what's on your altar. Are there thorns, which means like bodies and body solutions and inside a material paradigm, and this has to look a certain way, therefore solving the problem, or something I don't like? Or lilies, aligning with the eternal and wholeness, aligning with what is present and real. And this is she characterizes this as a new perspective, away from this paradigm of solving solutions inside a material world. She goes, join the perspective of the Holy Spirit. It is within you, and it is. And she gives you the feeling sense in this paragraph. In paragraph, what was that? In paragraph 5, she calls this, the feeling tone is a gentle glow of peace.
Yeah.
The gentle glow of peace. I've experienced that. I mean, I've experienced that a lot in retreats and things like that. The gentle glow of peace, and it can become a state. We can stabilize.
A way of being.
A way of being, and this is the Holy Spirit's perspective. And it's and she goes, and the other characteristics of this perspective, of this group participation, in which what is yours to do is seen and reflected by the group, is that you see no strangers, that everybody that you encounter is dearly beloved, and that you're always amongst loving friends.
Yeah.
Interesting word that hey George. Interesting word that dearly beloved.
Yes.
Dearly beloved. What does that term bring to mind for you, dearly beloved? Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get
do
through
whatever.
Get through this thing called
Called
life.
Yeah, Prince. Prince.
But so, how intimate of a gathering is it if wherever you are and who's ever around you, you start these sentences with dearly beloved? Okay, because that's the feeling tone that the Course is trying to get us to understand that is actually happening, is the actual reality of what is here. The experience of oneness that you bring because we're together in this thing is the deal, right? And I operate in my best self and make my best decisions when you're here helping me do that, participating in this conscious oneness of togetherness. We make better decisions. We do things easily. Things get done without effort. That's what she's talking. It could be this way if we understood what is ours to do is a lot less around changing the way material objects move through space than it is about operating in a perspective of oneness and togetherness and minute decisions about how that is experienced in the everyday encounters with other people, with other beings. Oh, I wouldn't have never said that if we were one, It's like, of course, we would just begin to understand a little bit differently about how we operate in the world, because we're walking around amongst our dearly beloved and our loving friends.
That's really wonderful to come from that place. You know, that's cool. I'm going to start walking around going, dearly beloved, dearly beloved, dearly beloved, dearly beloved. Because that's really cool. I like that. All right, let's see what else she has to say. Okay, we're on paragraph 6, and we're doing highlighted portions mostly. So we're right in the middle of the
unless you'd
paragraph.
like Yolanda to read this chapter, read every chapter every week.
Every
to you. It's like
word.
Let's
No,
I
we'll
can,
just
I can, yeah.
highlight
I'm
it.
a pretty good editor.
Okay. Nor can you use what I have given unless you share it.
Okay, we've turned the page here. We've turned the page. Nor can you use what I have given unless you share it. Those are like the rules. Keep going.
The Holy Spirit's vision is no idle gift, no plaything to be tossed about a while
reading
and
the
laid
rest.
aside.
Keep reading the rest.
You have the vision now to look past all illusions. It has been given you to see no thorns, no strangers, and no obstacles to peace, which we will talk about next week.
Because I skipped that
Because
as
it's
the
your
reference.
favorite thing. Okay. Your vision has become the greatest power for the undoing of illusion that God Himself could give.
Okay, you were waiting for the greatest power. You were waiting for the part in Course in Miracles where you were going to get the power. You were going to get the power. You're dong dong. You're like knighted in now, right? You see,
Right. Right.
your vision has become now the greatest power in the undoing of illusion that God Himself could give. What greater gift could we bring ourselves, our lives, and our communities? This is the gift of vision. It's called it's looking with different eyes. It's looking with the presence of the Holy Spirit, looking out from our presence and not with our material eyes. And you can do this. It's our presence. We've done it all. We've done it a lot. We know this as kids. We're like, ooh, I don't want to hug that guy. We know presence. It's something we do naturally. Yeah. And we move into this presence and express this presence in healthy ways with other people by doing what is ours to do. And the Course in Miracles makes it very clear. She goes, this is no idle gift. This is not a plaything. Yours to do what is yours to do. It's not an idle plaything. It's not nothing. Very important. Essential to the oneness. Essential to the plan. And she gives.
Impacts our
I
life.
know,
It
it
impacts our
impacts
life.
everything. And the reminder, we can't pull anybody out. So the reminder, she gives us a reminder. She goes, oh, and by the way, other people are never in your way. It'll never be somebody's fault if that happened to you. Ever. Other people will never be in your way. If you're trying to fix people to make your life better, you're going to be miserable.
I've tried it. Yuck.
That's good advice. That's really good advice. No, fixing. You're just offering thorns. You're just reinforcing the obstacles to peace.
Yeah.
Which the first of which is you don't know what it is. That's the first obstacle.
Yeah.
So the greatest power is your perspective, how you see things. Because you really do not want to see a world of nails and crowns of thorns, and to walk around as the king of death yourself. Because that's what you're doing. You're going, judging, you're not good enough, everything's not right. She calls that attitude the king of death. Because you're just going, everything's burning all down, nothing's satisfactory, right? She calls that attitude the king of death. Pretty strong words.
Let's move on and
Keep going.
see what else is there.
8 of 11.
Okay. All you need, you have. Your home has called to you since time began. In you, the knowledge lies, ready to be unveiled and freed from all the terror that kept it hidden. There is no fear in love, and there will be no fear in us, for in our vision will be no illusions, only a pathway to the open door of heaven, the home we share in quietness, and where we live in gentleness and peace as one together. Yeah. That's the vision.
Okay.
What's
Okay.
your face?
Sign me.
What's your
Sign
face?
me. Absolutely.
Sign me up.
Sign me. Sign me up. Heaven is your home. It's your chosen home, right? It's beyond the veil. It's beyond a material world. It is loving presence. And I'm going to offer you the idea that it is the group dynamic. That it is our presence. It is greater when we are greater. Now, this is all available within, but it is felt and moved when we come together. That's why we come together, right? There's the feeling sense of physically helping each other. And that is what she's talking about here. We come together for tasks and stuff all the time in all kinds of groups, formal and informal. And if we begin to recognize the presence that is developed in those spaces, that are still in those places, whether they're conscious for us or not, we could begin to really amplify the healing in our own selves and our own community. Wouldn't that be nice? To be consciously aware, to be consciously in the presence of God with others, even though that's the bodhisattva, isn't it? That's like, I'm going to carry the love of God even though nobody knows it. I'm going to do the right thing even though nobody's looking, right? That's the bodhisattva. That's what the Course is asking us to do. Be who you are. I swear things will work out.
Aw.
You know?
Yeah.
Heaven is your home. It's your chosen home. It's beyond the veil in this loving presence, inside of this group dynamic. And she characterizes it being carefully prepared and ready to receive you. Because we don't always think so. Oh, they're not ready for me. Well, she says, all you need, you have. And this presence, this group, this loving group, this people that want to help you do what is yours to do, and that you are dying to help to do what is theirs to do, is actually calling you. And she says, in you is the knowledge of what is yours to do. And the voice of the Course in Miracles shifts in chapter 20 to an our voice. The request is, she goes, lift up our eyes together. It is no longer God showing you how to use your eyes and showing you how to see. It is now our eyes.
Wow.
Lift up our eyes together. And she says, doing this together motion for this intent, this group intent, everybody is themselves working toward the goal of oneness, opens up a pathway to the door of heaven. She calls this the pathway to the door of heaven, which is a group, the door of heaven, which is the entryway to the present moment for everybody else. When we're together, they can see this group, and if our group, our presence, this way of being, it becomes the pathway to an open door to heaven for others. She calls that heaven. It is the home we share in quietness, where we live in gentleness and peace as one together. It's communal living,
Exactly.
I guess. I don't know. You've joined a commune. Everybody's here. Too bad, you know. I don't. You know, it's like, that's a wonderful sense. It was like, oh, I don't have to take care of everything. If everything is here, I just do what is mine to do, and I'm with people I know and love and trust, and we all want the same thing. Everything kind of gets done.
That's how it seems to work right
Turns
here
out.
with Awakening Together.
Turns out.
Yeah.
So, all right. Keep going.
Paragraph 9. Okay. Would you not have your holy brother lead you there? Yes. Yes. His innocence will shine your way, shining from the holy altar within him. We go beyond the veil of fear, lighting each other's way. The holiness that leads us is within us, as is our home. So will we find what we were meant to find by him who leads us. I love that sentence. That takes anxiety about the future away from me.
Yeah.
I'm going to read it again. So we will find what we were meant to find by him who leads us. Oh my goodness. Does that jazz anybody else? I really like that. Okay. And so in the last 2 more paragraphs, we join in glad awareness that the Son of God is risen from the past and has awakened to the present. Now is he free, unlimited in his communion with all that is within him. And gladly will you walk the way of innocence together, singing as you behold the open door of heaven, let things be exactly as they are, and recognize the home that called to you. Give joyously to one another the freedom and the strength to lead you there, and come before each other's holy altar where the strength and freedom wait to offer and receive the bright awareness that leads you home. The lamp is lit in both of you for one another, and by the hands that gave it to your brothers shall both of you be led past fear to love.
Woo! I think Course in Miracles got up on a little bit of a podium there.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but there was a little bit of pounding of the podium there for me. Gladly will you walk the way of innocence together. Okay.
Singing as you behold the open door of heaven.
Give joyously to one another the freedom and strength to lead you there. Come before each other. Receive the bright awareness that the lamp in both of you. You see, the language of A Course in Miracles changes in chapter 20 to a lot more of a we centered. We're in this together. We're now moving with people. Where before, in the first part of A Course in Miracles, we're kind of on this more of a solo journey, or with a small group of people. We've kind of entered back into society when we get to chapter 20. Because leading with innocence is how this works out in the way this is sustainable. Is that if we lead with innocence, and she characterizes this as a shining light, which sees correctly. And how does she do that shining light? By saying, I see this and you see this. And by one person not having all the sight, right? One person not having all the light. You got a light, and I got a light, and you got a light. And together, we make a truth, right? That's the idea of in the togetherness is the truth.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Shining light, to see correctly, to ensure protection, right? This is protective, because we see past solutions that don't work to solutions that actually work. We're working with causes now, and not just symptoms. We're not window dressing. We're not trying to make anything look right. We are actually working with fundamental changes in the way we experience the world together. And she calls this the new vision. We light each other's way. We will find our way, because we have what we need. We, all the way home. And the method is to awaken from your past narrative. Awaken from the story about how it's got to be, about who we are and where we're going and everything. To give up the narrative and our story about ourselves and the story about the earth and everything that's got to be and why it's all got to be a certain way. The result, if we can let go of our own narrative, she says it's possible that we can have communication with all that is. That sounds like a Marvel origin story to me. I hear everything. Oh my God! In communication with all things. To me, that's just a really lovely way of saying I know what to do all the time. I'm so calm, cool, and collected, and plugged in that I know what to do all the time. How comforting is that? That would be kind of a definition of peace, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You just couldn't be ruffled, right?
Yeah.
You're like, what's his name in the Matrix, going, oh God, smoke a cigarette between all this, So you know what to do. You're not afraid. There's the anxiety and everything goes away. So you know what to do. So she calls this pure communication with all that is the song of heaven. And it couldn't be anything else. What's heaven? Here. Reality. Place. What's the song of reality? Everything participating in the song of praising the love of the presence of truth and reality and God, or however we're going to say it. There's a million beautiful ways to say it. Way better than I could. But it's here. It's us. It's do you want to be here? Do you want to be God? Do you want to know what reality is? Do we even want to experience what is true? She goes, you will if you want it for everybody.
Yeah.
You will if you realize that we're all doing this, all of us, everything. We're not running a race and no one's keeping score. You know? That's a really weird thing in this society when you wake up to realizing that you've been keeping score and everybody else has been keeping score, but everybody's keeps score differently. You know, and people keep erasing things, you know, that I remember and stuff, you know. So how are we going to be in this? How are we going to accomplish what we know when we are driven for what is ours to do? We actually find people that are going in the same direction we are. Just by doing and being what is ours to do, we find people that we're bumping elbows with like-minded people. So here we go. This is the last of it. We are each members of many groups, family groups, work circles, friend groups, affinity groups, etc. They are the structures of how we operate as connected humans experiencing oneness on this planet. It's our superpower and our Achilles heel. We start by choosing our intent as a group. We learn to choose actions that benefit our oneness. In other words, no one's needs are systematically excluded. We develop an attitude of trust in this oneness and togetherness. This is where the healthy expression of what is ours to do is expressed. This is where the healthy expression, joining with others is what is ours to do, opens up heaven. This moment is a we experience. Others have been holding the light of their altar for us all along, calling to us. We're holding our altar light for others. We are walking home together, rejoicing and singing the song of heaven. My name is Glenn Morton Ganaway, and I'm your favorite anarchist preacher, and this is the love of my life, the Reverend Yolanda, and you're listening to the Mighty Companions, and we're so grateful for your practice.